Well, we may have met the 4thrnd.
Time, ready for play.
Happy to go through the mill again, the Henman Brigade, inside and outside, ready for part 2 of the Tim and Todd shootout. And trading punches, the first heavyweight battle of ladies singles, Jennifer and Serena. Well, 4 ladies quarterfinals, plus Tim, plus another afternoon of fantastic sunshine, another vintage day for Wimbledon. Pam Shriver and John Lloyd are here to talk about tennis, but actually, more importantly, the main big talking points of the day. Like, what did the man who dethroned Sampras do on his day off? Is Marat Safin better at pool than he is at tennis? And is Robbie about to make a different sort of racket? Anyway, the story so far. You may recall that Todd and Tim left the centre court last night just before 9 o'clock with Tim 2 sets to 1 down, and they had to come back on Henman's bad tennis day because the many thousands on the hill knew that on July the 3rd every year since 1997 Henman had bitten the Wimbledon dust. But there was no room for superstition today. Henman out of the traps like a greyhound, holding his serve with ease. So here we go with Todd Martin trying to stay on level terms, 3-2 down. Commentary from Chris Bailey, Pat Cash and John McEnroe.
Caught that one late. It's a good return from Henman. Skidded through. Hit it a bit later than he expected and went better than he expected.
Well ducked, madam.
He's actually had quite a good backhand overhead over the years. He's got some good zip, angled it off easily. Once again, to me, he's doing the right thing if he can get into net. Any chance he gets. And if you're playing a guy who's been known to get tight in big situations, well, that's the perfect antidote. Just go out there and put pressure on him, make him come up with the shots. How big is this point? Remember, 2 sets to 1, Todd Martin. Now 2-3, 15-30. Here's a time to come in, if at all possible.
He didn't come in, Henman, but he made Martin stretch. Two break points for Henman.
Believe that. They called that ball wide. I didn't hear that call. Neither did anyone in the crowd.
I didn't hear that call either. Oh, boy.
That's a rough call.
Remember last night, Todd Martin got a...
Send that guy to Australia with these
Well, that is the break for Henman.
Well, that was a crucial moment for Tim Henman, and he suddenly found himself at 2 sets apiece. Tension now. You really could cut it like a knife. Here we go with Henman 1-2 down in the final set and serving. No room for error here.
$15 all.
Here's a rarity, Martin. He's actually a player that tucks his shirt in. And that's a thing of the past, I thought.
Just a shuffle across with the right foot. And he's putting the other foot across. And the man with a big reach just takes a nice little swing. Off it goes.
He's sweating now. It's 1-2, 5th set, 15-30. Now second serve.
Sixth double fault from Henman. Martin with the first opportunities to snatch a break of serve.
I still say if you're going to get beat with your best stuff. Comes in on that second serve. Just cannot afford, to me, mentally, to sit there in the backcourt. Too much pressure.
Deuce.
How about heartbeat a little bit quicker watching that ball come down, but just wide.
That's a big play from Henman. 2 break points down, and Henman finds the goods.
And there's going to be a couple of games like this throughout this set. And Henman gets through the first test. I'm sure Martin will have one at some stage. And whoever gets out of it, he's going to win.
Love 15.
Well, worried about Henman coming in. Deciding to go into the forehand. A weaker side of Henman. Good return. Just got it back, got it low.
Love 30.
6-6. The last place you want to hit it is right where he had to. Henman takes Martin's pace. Now finds himself with a real chance at love 30.
Oh.
15-30.
Well, he's got one of the best backhands in the world. Had to go for the line. Good deep volley from Martin. Still is there to take.
That's where you aim about 2 feet inside the line, because it's only natural to get a little tight, catch it a little later than you want. It still goes in. Can't count on hitting the lines.
Henman was 15-40 on his last service game, dealt with the situation. Now it's the turn of Martin.
Well, Henman in the box seat there, and here we are with him capitalising on that situation and breaking Martin again. That was a great backhand pass to give Henman a 5-2 lead in the final set. He couldn't possibly blow it from here, could he?
Top of everything else, the sting is gone from Martin's game. There's the fans on the hill. They're a happy bunch. And again with some solid volley. Now he's even diving. That's when you know it's your day. Lay it all out. You look up. See Martin's not even going for it.
It's still tough to close the match out. So you know your opponent, it's hurting. Just want to play a good, tough game. Of course, if you serve it in the slot, this guy can still hit the ball. As long as he can get to it, come back.
Well, the serve looked long. Martin's not happy at all.
4-3.
No overrule from the chair. Henman, match point. He's done it.
3-6-2, 6-7, 7-6, 4-6, 6-3, 6-2.
And rightly, Henman applauding this crowd. They certainly provided him with a big energy base to play from. At 2 sets to 1 down, Henman had it all to do, and he did it.
Andy, congratulations, fantastic performance. What's your verdict?
Yeah, it was a different story today. Yesterday was...
Team, and he's the new king of cool. With Sampras-like composure, Roger Federer saw off the 7-time champion, and the chilled-out Swiss now brandishes the most famous bandana in the business.
This is for everyone at home who would like to do a Roger Federer bandana.
I was doing it differently, but then actually it was weird because I saw Carlos Moya do it, you know. So he did it because mine was always a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
So first you fold it into half.
That's the Federer trademark. Very fetching, but the one he made earlier helped do the trick on centre court.
When I was a kid, I always dreamed about winning Wimbledon, or maybe beating Ed Berg or Becker or Sampras in the finals. So what is unbelievable is that I beat him now here on centre court and everything, but it's just not the finals yet, you know. The dream would really come true if I would win the tournament here now, but I have to take match by match. But a little boring, but I mean that's how it is. Otherwise, I might lose next round if I go too positive now.
You're not just going to be playing Tim, you'd be playing the entire British nation, it would appear.
Well, first of all, I played Tim in my hometown in Basel. He beat me there, so it would be nice to get the revanche here in England. And it's normal that the crowd's going to be all behind Tim, even though I think I got had some guys cheering for me against Pete Sampras. I was surprised how many were going for me, but it seems like they like me. And I mean, Tim's game is so good suited to grass. He's got great volleys, he moves well on the grass, and he scrambled back a lot of balls, so it's going to be tough.
Roger's already collected 1 cup at Wimbledon, winning the junior boys competition when he was 16, but he's now within touching distance of the grown-up version.
Have you pictured in your mind picking up the trophy here?
Well, I mean, sometimes I joke around when I was young, or still do now. Roger Federer, Wimbledon champ, you know, when I win a point or I play a tiebreaker against a friend, I still do stuff like this. So it's nice, to have had such a feeling yesterday on centre court. It's really nice.
Well, John, how good is he? How good could he be?
Very good, and he's already very good now. He can go on to win a couple of championships here. I think he can play great on grass, but I don't think he's going to beat Tim tomorrow.
Because?
Because it's a different mindset from going up against Sampras, where he had nothing to lose. Now people are talking about him, saying, well, perhaps he can win. it's different. It's a different attitude, and he's going to have 99% of the crowd against him.
OK, famous last words. We're talking about how you spend your day off. I mean, I'm sure Goran Ivanisevic probably spent the day practicing his serves, you know. But Marat Safin had other things to occupy his mind. You know, he had to try and remember how many cars it is that he owns. And believe you me, there's not a larder amongst them.
Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Mercedes. No.
Lotus, you forgot Lotus.
Ah, Lotus. No, I have one Ferrari, one Mercedes, three Mitsubishis, one Seat, and one Nissan. Let's talk about this. One for my family. No, two for my family. It's Nissan and Mitsubishi. The family is very important, I think, no? Right? Right? Then girlfriend, also important, right? You have to take care of her, no? Seat, and I have just 3 cars.
What was he on about there? I don't know. Basically, he's got a lot of cars. I think that's what it comes down to, you know. What does that prove? Tennis players have more...
Guys like cars.
Guys like cars. OK, it's very profound, and that's what it proves. Guys like cars. Now, the main talking point of Wimbledon today, obviously, was that if you've read the paper today, you know that Robbie Williams is sort of renouncing the showbiz lifestyle, and he's decided that there's more to life than just sort of being a rock DJ. So, lo and behold, what's going on here? Here he is, playing in the men's doubles tonight, along with Sheng Shalken. Let me entertain you, and all that. There he is. I have to say, I'm not convinced about this, but anyway, it's not so bad, is it? That's Juan Balcells of Spain doing a passable imitation. No regrets and all that. Right, point of the day comes, you won't be surprised to hear, from the Tim Henman match. Plenty to choose from, and this was the one we picked. Reminiscent of Becker at his finest. But there was actually a very, very close contender for the prize point of the day. It came in the ladies over 85 doubles. And anyway, no.
Oh,
so who's this serving?
I serve underarm and I miss it, okay? I'll spoil it. Oh. See, they didn't even get it bouncing.
In slow motion. I think it's better in slow motion because...
it was pathetic.
Yeah. It's a good job you're wearing a cap, Pam, because no one will recognise you.
Good.
So,
yeah.
Are we going to see it again?
No, they don't do a replay.
Oh, yes, by popular
see,
demand.
Was, you know...
That was a thunderbolt serve.
Look how quickly I'm getting in.
That was a yard and a half long.
By the way, we were playing against Greer Stevenson and Katerina Lindquist. I was playing Virginia Wade. I think we should distribute the wealth there.
Result?
We lost 6-3, 7-5, although my serve did get better and I held serve a couple times. My first match in 3 years.
Yes.
And enough on my tennis.
OK, here's the order of play for tomorrow. On centre court, Safin against Ivanisevic, Federer against Henman, and on court 1 it's Enquist against Rafter, Escudé against Agassi. Let's start with those 2 matches on centre court tomorrow. I mean, they're both pretty hard to call, although you're very bullish about Tim Henman. What about Safin against Ivanisevic, first of all? Pam, how do you see that one?
Well, Goran's like a Capriati story in miniature. I mean, as far as not his height miniature, but the fact that this is his big...
Been known to get tight in big situations. Well, that's a perfect antidote. Just go out there and put pressure on him, make him come up with the shots. How big is this point? Remember, 2 sets to 1, Todd Martin. Now 2-3, 15-30. Here's a time to come in, if at all possible.
Wimbledon. Pam Shriver and John Lloyd are here to talk about tennis, but actually, more importantly, the main big talking points of the day. Like, what did the man who dethroned Sampras do on his day off? Is Marat Safin better at pool than he is at tennis? And is Robbie about to make a different sort of racket? Anyway, the story so far. You may recall that Todd and Tim left the centre court last night just before 9 o'clock with Tim 2 sets to 1 down, and they had to come back on Henman's bad tennis day because the many thousands on the hill knew that on July the 3rd every year since 1997 Henman had bitten the Wimbledon dust. But there was no room for superstition today. Henman out of the traps like a greyhound, holding his serve with ease. So here we go with Todd Martin trying to stay on level terms, 3-2 down. Commentary from Chris Bailey, Pat Cash and John McEnroe.
Caught that one late. It's a good return from Henman, skidded through. Hit it a bit later than he expected and went better than he expected.
Well ducked, madam.
Well, we may have met the 3 go-rounds.
Time, ready for play.
Happy to go through the mill again, the Henman Brigade, inside and outside, ready for part 2 of the Tim and Todd shootout. And trading punches, the first heavyweight battle of ladies singles, Jennifer and Serena. Well, 4 ladies quarterfinals, plus Tim, plus another afternoon of fantastic sunshine, another vintage day for...
He's actually had quite a good backhand overhead over the years. He's got some good zip, angled it off easily. Once again, to me, he's doing the right thing if he can get into net. Any chance he gets. And if you're playing a guy who's